Alright, today we're going to be installing a ductless mini split. This is a Hessaire brand from Home Depot. 1.5 ton, should be the same for all 3 different sizes. And just a quick how-to do it. This is for a small garage that's a weight room right now, so maybe get a little cooler in here. The first step is going to be mounting the indoor portion of this on the bracket. So find a good spot for your bracket and go from there.
I'll be right back.
We've got the mounting plate mounted now. The next step is to drill the hole based on what model you have. We have the 1.5 ton, and the dimensions are here as follows. So the first dimension is dimension A, which is from this point over. Ours calls for 6.7 inches, which is about 6 3/4 inch. So come over 6 3/4, make your mark. Dimension B is from the bottom to that point, which is 1.5 inches. Same thing, make your mark. Come over here, if you like. Draw a line with this for your bottom. And now come up 1.5 inches. And that'll give you our exact center point there. That gives you the center point of your 3-inch diameter hole, which will allow your line set and your drain and power to come through. I think we only have a 2-inch, but we're gonna make 2 go to 3. All right, we're gonna drill the hole now, drywall on the inside, put it on our center point there. You don't want to drill all the way through. This one's got stucco on the outside. So you want to get a longer bit that will reach outside, poke a hole, go from the outside and drill it in. So we got a bit with a bit extender. This way it'll go all the way through the outside, give us a small hole. We can go around and re-drill through the stucco. Get it nice and center. This one actually says to go at a slight angle downward, so there's not a sharp bend in your copper lines. So we're gonna give it a small angle this way, poke our hole. Daylight. Okay, let's go around to the outside. Okay, there's our hole. Let's get it from the outside. We'll go slow since it's stucco. Smoked it. Alright, now we have to feed the signal wire through this before we mount it. So, let's take the front cover open here. Okay, we have to feed the signal cable through the back and bottom of the indoor unit. There's a hole down here. Just line it up and get it fed through. Comes up through the bottom side to this terminal block. You've got your 3 colors, green, white, black, and red. On your instructions, it shows you what position they go. So the first one's green. Into this block here. Back it off. We're gonna pull on it again. Make sure it does not come off. Next in line is 1N for neutral. And be white. Tighten it down. Okay, 3 is the line, which is black. The third wire in. Tighten it, pull on it. All right, last one. It's a red signal wire. So now we have this coming out of the back. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but this comes out the back. It will be fed through the hole in the wall, along with your drain and your line set. We can go ahead and shut this back. Okay, now we're gonna feed the power through the wall first. It's got plenty of long enough cord, so just make sure that unit's close. Feed this first through your freshly drilled holes. There we go. All right, get a lot of it out there so it freaking fall back in here. Okay, now we're gonna go to the back of the unit and pull loose the line set. Okay, flip the unit around. We've got to take this screw out and rotate the line set so they can go straight out the new hole we have. So, just take this loose. Oops. Careful when bending this stuff because it could break. Here's your drain tube. This one's nice and flexible. This is the high side and low side. Don't take these off until you're outside. Just get this kind of like that. Copper's pretty resilient. Just don't go yanking on it. We don't need to put that back unless you want to, but maybe save it for later, I guess, huh? Okay. Probably should get somebody to help you with this part, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, so we drilled a 2-inch hole. It was very tight, but with 2 people we were able to get it. Maybe do what the instructions say and do a 3-inch hole. It's a lot cleaner this way though. It's clicked in, not going anywhere. The only thing in here we need to do now is put our cover back on our electrical. Remember that was in here. So there's a bracket here with a screw. This is why it was so hard for me to get the power cable through. It actually needs to go underneath it. It's kind of a pain to get off now that it's nice and tight in here. But this actually holds your wires down. Let's see if we can get this. See this? It's like a little door. So basically stick that thing in the notch. Now it's nice and tucked behind there. I don't know if you can see that, but it just makes it easier for pulling it through than what we had to do earlier. Now it's nice and secured and locked in there, and you can actually put the plate on there if you want to. Obviously make sure the power's off before you're doing all this stuff. You don't want to electrocute yourself. It'll be pretty fun though. So the next step is to slightly bend those down. You don't want to put a hard kink in them. Just kind of work it with your hands and connect your drain, your high side and your low side to there first. Always use a backup wrench. You're gonna have 2 nuts to go together, so always use a backup wrench. Otherwise you could twist it off and break it. So we're gonna do that now. All right, per the instructions, keep in mind it says to attach up here first and only unroll what you need. So these stay coiled behind the unit. That way you don't stretch it all out and then have to try to recoil it back up. So we're gonna bend this, stretch these out just to the ground, and continue on. The easiest one first is the drain line. There it is. That one clips nicely into place. Let's roll these. Just work them nice. Let's see here. Again, we're not kinking these. I like to lift up, get your fingers back under there. Get it kind of close to the wall. See that? They're not kinked. It's a nice bow. You have all 3 of these, 4 of these, like that. You can always attach this to the wall later to suck it in, but this is going to be good there. These are charged with nitrogen from the factory, so you're going to take this off, you'll hear it hiss. It's fine, it's not a big deal. So this one will do, let's see here. It's the same fitting on either end, so it doesn't really matter which way you do it, at least on this one. One thing to note, if you're going to be risky and not use a vacuum pump, do this part as quickly as possible as to not let any moisture in here. So we're going to pull this off and this out, put it right on quick. That's your nitrogen purge. That's that, and this is back on. This way, no bad air gets into the line where the refrigerant is. 2 wrenches, one to back it up and one to be on here, the bottom, to actually tighten it. Decently tight. You're not building an engine, and it's copper, so it's soft. Again, slowly roll down what you need. You can make that straight later. Onto the larger diameter. Again, this is the same on both sides. We're going to do the same process. Get it off. Get it off. There. We're in Arizona right now, so it is super hot. It's probably winter time, who knows. It's hotter than Utah. So, okay. Again, roll out what you need only. I'm gonna move the ladder and we can clean this up a little bit. We got some white duct tape. We're not gonna wrap the whole thing in this just yet because we want some more insulation to go around it. So I'm gonna get these clean, get a couple little strips, and just to get it kind of cleaned up for now. And roll this down and that one down. So let's go like something like this. These insulations on these lines kind of fit up under there real nice. Also, you'll notice. Let's go something like this. Oops. Okay, our next step is going to be setting the machine. Setting the outside condenser and hooking these into it, and then the power. So this unit obviously has 4 legs. You need to put these underneath it so it doesn't vibrate too crazily. All your mounting screws and everything, and it keeps the wear and tear down on the mounting stuff inside. We'll get this squared off a little bit better. What I might do is slide it out, hook it in, and then kind of push it back before I mount these. So let's see if we can do that. Phillips screwdriver takes the covers off. Which you're going to need to buy a flexible whip to plug into the power for your house. Home Depot or Lowe's will have that. You forgot to grab one.
Forgot to grab. Just thinking about that. Oh crap, we forgot to grab that.
Which is fine. We'll do the bottom one. Bottom one is a line set, so it looks like they actually come in from the back, which is nice. One screw lifts off. Oh yeah. So, I don't know if you can see this, but super simple. Don't touch any of this stuff until you've got the lines hooked up. So this is your cover for your high side, which is small diameter, and low side, which is larger diameter. You're just gonna roll that down kind of where you want it, then grab the center and easily, very gently get it to this without making any sharp bends. So let's do that. We'll go with the low. Let's do the, so like I said, get it where you want it, and then I'm just gonna pull this kind of out like that. But let me, where'd those wrenches go? Oh, right here. Okay. So that. This is a valve, so there's going to be nothing in here. So take your plastic off, grab your small one, and this is going to end up over here, so I kind of want to bend it just like this and like so. Again, if you're not vacuuming it out, be quick on this part not to get any air in there. As little as possible, and just screw it on there. Okay. You can't really back this one up, so just kind of be gentle. Don't yank on stuff. That's good. Okay, let's do the big one. We probably should have done the big one first since it's on the bottom, but we'll get it. The rain you see is actually my sweat off of my face. Okay, let's remove the plastic cover for the bottom. This one we're going to kind of go through here. This again, just work it nice. It's fine, it can move a little bit. It's gonna go kind of like that. If the way to do it is kind of, instead of bending in one point, bend in a few different points. Get your angle right. See that? It's like almost where we need it. Do that. I like it. Let's get this on. Just don't want those things coming loose. Okay, so that's on. Your drain doesn't hook to anything on this because it's just draining the wall out. So we'll put another couple pieces of tape down there. So this is similar to what we did on the inside portion. This is your line coming through the wall, the signal wire, I believe they call it. It's going to come in through one of these holes, probably this right one, and then going to this. And then per your instructions, we hook them where they go. So obviously the green goes on the case ground. That's the symbol for ground. And then I think it said, let's see here, it says L1 is going to be, where are we at here? Oh, we can actually do ground here as well. We're gonna go there for the ground. And then is white, L2 is black. One end is white here. So one end white. Hang on, let me get my finger out of the way. One end for neutral is white. 2L for load is black. And then the 3 is a red signal. And then obviously that ground goes there. You can use any of these for ground. You can see the symbols. I don't know if you can, but I mean there's all kinds. So keep in mind we're going to have some. This is going to be going to our house power, and then line 1 and 2. Each of these will be 110 volt because this is the 208 230 volt unit. So signal will be these 3, and this will be your 2 hots and your ground. All right, I'm going to hook these up now. Okay, so we ran it through the bottom in through this holder, and again I always pull on these because, you know, make sure they're tight. Obviously we don't have any power going to this. If you did the power first, make sure it's off, kick the breaker off, but this is obviously nothing's powering because our power comes through here. You don't want to get electrocuted. Anyways, everything's tight. Ground's on here. I chose to put it here because it's nice and convenient. We might put a little escutcheon here later so it doesn't rub. But for now, we're ready to do our power, and then our last part, probably before the power, is to vacuum this out. You hook the vacuum pump to here, and then vacuum it out. Once it's vacuumed down and you're satisfied, you're going to backseat these valves, and it tells you how to do that in your instructions. Okay, what we're going to do now is slide the machine into position and set these pads underneath. It's not going to be exact right now because we're still going to be moving around, but it'll be pretty much where it's going to end up. We chose to further insulate this just because it's a little bit hotter out here than some places. You don't need to do this, it's already insulated, but we're going to go the extra step and add some of this. It might not work out, but we're going to find out. So I think it's kind of double stick, so it's pretty nice. Probably do a section like so. See if I can reach that high, but super sticky stuff. Home Depot's got this. Once we put this on, then we'll put that white duct tape all the way around it. So that seems to be working. So pull off a foot or two section, you know, wrap it around. This is actually really good stuff. Okay, so for the electrical, if you don't feel comfortable doing this part of it, hire an electrician to do it. We got some liquid tight 1/2 inch, keeps the weather out for the conduit, and then we got 10-2, which is 10 gauge thicker, and 2 wire comes with the ground, and that's what that calls for, just 2 hops. So I've got it hooked on here, and then that end is I don't have it cut yet because I want to make it nice and clean. So we'll feed this in. This orange is only 15 feet. So we'll feed this. So we'll get it up real nice like this. All right. And how these work you screw this in and it tightens down and holds it in. So we're gonna put this through, put this on just till it's just over the edge, and it goes up flush. And that goes over. Now you're watertight. Now, so per instructions, we've got, again, ground, line 1 and line 2, so your solid copper's ground, and then these are just line 1 and 2. They're both hot, 110 volt. Not right now, but when they're running. I'm gonna use pliers to, I like to get a little kink on it like that. This way it goes up under there real nice. Careful not to nick any of these. Oh, got it all 3 of these connected on there. I decided not to use this holder because this was so rigid. It's not going anywhere. Anyways, double check all of your previous connections, make sure they're tight, and then we can reinstall this cover and continue on. Okay, so I've ran and connected the 2 hots and the ground, and there's a baby. You'll notice inside of these it says line, load, load, line. So line is the power going in, and load is your device, the device taking the power. Always make sure that you don't just connect 2 here and 2 here because it'll cause issues. Anyways, that's good to go.
What do you think, Eddie?
Okay, so we went to Harbor Freight, of course, because that's where you go. We've got the automotive gauges and a vacuum pump, and we found, this is probably something I should have known, but threads are different from automotive to residential, so we're just gonna send it, and it should work fine. If it doesn't, it's not my house. All right, for those of you that decide to vacuum it down the correct way, based on the instructions, you want to get it down here in this red zone, which is the 10 inches of mercury. It's what it says in the manual. To do that, you hook a hose from your valve on your unit to this vacuum pump, and then from the vacuum pump to the gauge. That way you can tell how far down it goes. The whole thing with that is to get the dirty air, or mostly the moisture, out. When there's moisture in the system, it's not able to condense, therefore it doesn't effectively or efficiently cool. Other than that, that is how you would do it. They have the adapter, I believe, at AutoZone or Amazon. You can get them quite a few different places. This is just specific for automotive. So, okay, it's a 5mm Allen wrench, and basically, we've done this. We're gonna do it again for the video. You just get on here and make sure the stuff's tight. It's got to be tight. If it's not, you just wasted a bunch of money. You got to call an AC guy to come out. Okay, so that's tight. It's good to go. We're gonna open this up. So that's letting refrigerant into the line. You want to listen for hissing or check with your soap bubbles. It says in instructions. Like I said, we're sending this, so. All the way back till it's full open. Put that back on. Do the same with this one. This one's 3-way valve. This should have a Schrader. Good. This will let it go back to the machine, to the unit. Again, all the way open till it stops. Back seat it. Throw the cap on.
Say again.
Okay, now we turn the power on and see if it works. Alrighty, we ran out of light last night, so before we start it up, we're gonna just quickly seal out here to keep the bugs and the rodents out. We got some paintable caulking, kind of matches the paint on the house anyway, but this will just keep weather and animals out. Okay, so aside from not doing the vacuum pump down on it, we're in Arizona, so the humidity's almost nothing, so likely there won't be any issues. If there is, we'll let you know. But right now, I mean, we've got it set to 68. It's ice cold air coming out of here. Took us a minute to get the controller figured out. But anyways, it should be good for the gym. Let's go outside and listen to the fan. It's very, very quiet. So removing the heat, nice and quiet. Still have to button a few things up. We're gonna throw the bolts down through the pad there, but we might strap this down and paint it. But for now, it's good to go. It's gonna keep us cool in there while we work out.